What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to talk about wide receivers' hand press release technique off the line. This is one of the best ways to get separation, guys. We can't just have a plan for our feet. We always got to have a plan for our hands, so let's get started. So the first clip we're going to look at is Davante Adams. Let's watch this thing in full speed right here. He's going to be taking just a quick wide step release, get the guy's hands off, and then burst upfield. And then he's able to just create so much separation, about 3 steps of separation. Aaron Rodgers puts this ball on a dime for a great catch. Now let's watch and see what happens, what makes this work. So he knows that he takes this wide step release. This DB, his first step here, he's stepping outside. Now this hand is he can't do anything. He can't press him with that hand. He's not going to be able to get hands on him at that point in time because his body's so wide. His body's outside of his frame. So all Davante Adams knows that he has to do is get this right hand off of him, and then he's going to be able to create some separation. So what he does is he uses the technique to rip under with the right. That's all it takes, guys. See, he's attacking his wrist. He's not spending any time trying to fight this hand. He attacks his wrist. The points of control are your wrist, elbow, and back of the shoulder. That's where you're going to see commonly attacked in this video, guys. The wrist, elbow, and the shoulder. Those are the best places to attack. Now, as you can see, gets his hands off. This is a very bad position for this DB right here. He's not going to be able to play this thing, not going to be able to get hands on him, and he's going to have to recover, and he's playing catch-up the entire time. So he's working off of here, creating separation, head down, getting up full speed, got 1 to 2, 3 steps maybe on this DB, then he's able to catch this ball over the top. But that purely happened because of his hands. If he didn't work his hands off the line here, as you can see, if he just takes this wide step, this is a good jam. He got his hands inside of his frame. Davante Adams' hands are a little low, but he knows that he's setting him up just to rip underneath with the right, get his hands off, and then he's able to explode upfield, get some separation, and then catch this ball over the top. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So wide step, get those hands off again. That's a very bad position for that DB. No hands on one of the best receivers in the NFL. Good job of showing late hands as well. Okay, so now this clip is going to be Michael Thomas in practice. So it comes up pretty quick, his hand technique here. But I'm going to pause it first because I want you to see, look where he's attacking. Back of his shoulder, okay? Back of the shoulder, but we're also going to know how hands aren't just used in the first maybe 2 steps of this release. In the beginning part of the release, it's used continue on throughout the route. So as you can see, slap, chop, get those hands off, no hands, makes this DB fall, makes him stumble. That's a great job by Michael Thomas working his hand technique. Let's see why this worked. So he's coming off of, I know it's tough to see right here, but he's coming off of a double move. He went in, out, release, and now he's working back inside. Like we said, he's attacking the back of his shoulder. That's going to get his body turned because Thomas is a physical guy. So we got to be willing to be physical. As receivers off the line of scrimmage, we got to be able to be physical. So he's slapping the back of his shoulder. Now he's coming through with the second. Look where he's chopping. He's chopping right at his elbow, chopping that point of control right here, taking his elbow off of him. And now look, he has to recover with the opposite arm. Michael Thomas has inside leverage, and that's exactly what he wants off of this release, so he could swat him by and get back to this out. So he's going to be working. Now what I want you to see here is, look, you want to pretend like this DB has maybe crap underneath his fingernails. So he rips underneath. Don't let him touch you. Don't let him touch you. This is a very bad position for this DB. Like I said, one of the best receivers in the league versus a DB who has no hands on him, nothing. So he's able to work upfield right now, work up, get a little lean into him. DB's playing catch-up, sudden stick in the ground, swats him by, makes him stumble, then he's able to get back on this out, working that post out. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So it comes up quick here off this clip, comes up pretty quick. So slap, chop, get those hands off, stick right back to the out, make him stumble, then you're able to catch this ball. All that happened because of his great hand technique off the line. All right, so now we're going to look at 2 clips of Julio Jones. So he's doing kind of the same release off of a double move. This is just a little bit better of an angle. Julio's a big guy, so he's going to be a physical receiver. He's going to be working that slap, chop release. So let's watch this thing full speed. So bam, slap, chop, get a little lean, stick, 5-7 yards of separation, guys. That's what hand technique does for you. That's what always having a plan does for your hands. I get this question asked a lot. How can I have better hands off the line of scrimmage? Watching this clip, learning these moves, you should have about 5 different plans that you could do. Plan it with your releases. Have that in your mind when you come up to this line of scrimmage. So we're going to go here. He's going to go an out, back, in release. So out, back, in. So now he's attacking. It's kind of tough to see, but he's attacking the back of his shoulder here. getting him. Look how off balance this DB is. That's why we got to be physical. Julio's a much bigger guy than this DB, so he just knows he's got to be physical. Now he's coming. I want you to see with this top arm, he's protecting his rib cage. This arm isn't way above his head like a lot of you like to do when you come over the top, when you don't rip underneath. When you come over the top like that, you're exposing your entire rib cage, and you could get a jam right into your ribs and knock you off this platform. But Julio knows that he's just going to chop down, attack those elbows, that forearm, as you can see right here, attacking his elbows, not just hand fighting with the guy because his hand will shoot right back up, attacks him, swats his hand off. This is a very bad position for this DB. He's got no hands on him. He's going to have to recover. He's going to have to play catch up on probably top 3 receiver in the league. So he gets a little lean into him. DB still doesn't have hands. He's trying to get hands. He does a good job of getting his hands on the DB, getting it inside of his frame. So when he gets this lean into this out route, he's able to create 5-7 yards of separation. He's completely turned around. Julio's looking for this ball, and now he's going to catch this ball and then break up field. Let's watch this thing full speed. So in out, slap, chop, lean, breakout right on this out. Sudden stick, catch this ball. That's a great job being physical by Julio Jones. Okay, so kind of the same thing. He goes out in now. Slap here. As you can see, he's attacking the back of his shoulder to get this DB turned. And now what's he going to do with this opposite hand? Chop by, rip it down. See, he didn't even recover. He knows that he did such a good release. He got this DB leaning so far inside that this hand is not going to play a factor if he's trying to get this outside release right now. He's just going to have to beat the DB's right arm. So he comes up, chop. Now he's getting up into this route. Again, look, DB kind of has hands on him right here. Might be a little hold, but he's still being physical. Julio's worried about being physical. He gets that hand off and pretends like he's got crap underneath his fingernails. We don't want him to touch us. Then he goes sudden stick, bursts up, and look how much separation he has. When the DB doesn't have hands on you, you're gonna get separation. Okay, I did a coaching clinic one time at Oregon, and they worked the stats of all their practices. 70% of the time when the DB got hands on the wide receiver in man coverage, he won the rep, okay? He won that rep. So if we could get his hands off of us, they're not going to win that rep, guys. We're going to win the rep because they're going to be guessing, and they're going to be playing catch up the entire time. But it starts at the line of scrimmage and throughout this route, working on proper hand technique. Let's watch this thing full speed. So out in, slap, chop, get those hands off you. Sudden stick, gets all the separation in the world because the DB has no hands on him. Okay, so this is going to be working a diamond release off of the line here. Now, this is a slant versus press. Now, I get this question asked a lot. How can I do a better release slant versus press? This is how, guys. You got to work your hands. You got to be very physical, and you got to be able to have something playing with your feet as well. So we're going to see this thing here. 1, 2, 3, slap him by, work up into the slant. Look how much separation he got. Okay, so the diamond release here gets this DB's hip to turn. That gets him to commit, but he's still got hands on this receiver, so he could still play him. If we don't work our hands here and swat him by, all the DB has to do is turn, open up his hips, and then he's able to make a play on this slant. But because this receiver right here, look where he's attacking. Back of his shoulder, guys. Getting him completely turned. See, his hips are already turned. So I don't even think... You probably don't even need your hands on this. This is bad technique by the DB. But because he slaps him by and he is physical, you want to slap him right in the back. It gets him shooting forward, and look how much separation we got. He stumbles because we're physical off this line. Slap him right in the back of the shoulder, avoid, come back underneath, put your foot in the ground. As you can see, he's putting his foot in the ground the same time he's attacking the back of his shoulder, exploding off that inside arch, then accelerating out of this route. Look how much separation he's got. When that's man coverage, that is huge, guys, especially at that level of football. College, NFL, when you could get that much separation off the line of scrimmage, that is a great job. Catch and then work upfield. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So 1, 2, 3, swat him by, back of the shoulder, about 5 yards of separation. That's a great job. Okay, so this really isn't hand technique, but this isn't just, we're not just talking about our feet. We're talking about DeAndre Hopkins' upper body on this, okay? Now he's going to be given a shoulder lean off this line, and this DB completely whiffs. This is why we lean with our shoulder, and we get a shoulder dip. So 1, 2, dip, DB completely misses, stacks him, has no hands on him. This is about having the DB not be able to get hands on you guys, and this is a great job, so we're going to break this down. So he goes in, out, release here. Now see what he does with his back shoulder when he comes through. He kind of dips underneath and rips, almost like a D lineman. Dips underneath this jab. DB completely whiffs. He's off balance. His feet are close together. DeAndre Hopkins is bursting up into this route. That's a great job avoiding the contact by the DB, and then he's able to stack him. See, again, he's playing catch-up on one of the best receivers in the NFL, sudden stick. He has no way to play it, gets all the separation in the world, and he's able to catch this ball. But that's why we dip and lean with our shoulder and rip through anytime we're working a double move in that situation, guys, to avoid the contact from the DB. Yes, you want to work your hands, and I know saying avoiding contact is kind of bad because it makes it sound a little soft, but we don't want to just run right into it when we don't have to, if that makes sense. So 1, 2, dip that shoulder, rip through, make him whiff. Don't even have to worry about swiping his hands. That's another plan you could have with your upper body. Get on top, stick, and then come out. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. 1, 2, dip underneath, stick, get back over the middle. All right, so next clip. So this is how you're going to be able to attack the blind spot by using your hands, guys. He doesn't use any hands off the line, but as you can see in this route here, I want you to look right here. He's swatting him by back of his shoulder about a yard up into this route. He's going to be running a hitch. Now, what this does is, see, his hips are already committed to the inside. He did a great job of selling inside on this route. Let's watch this thing full speed, actually, so you guys have a better idea. So he's coming here. 1, 2, swat him by, snap it down, and his blind spot breaks his ankle. So that got all set up by his hand technique here, guys. So he comes off this line. He works it inside. 1, 2 steps to the inside. Now he's swatting him by on his back. Now, swatting him by this early, what does it do? It opens him up. This is a blind spot right here. This DB has no idea what he's doing because he did a great job of being physical, swatting him by, getting his hips turned, and now he's attacking his blind spot, guys. So he does a good job of kind of speed turning, getting his eyes on him. But now this is a very hard turn for him to make completely all the way around, almost doing a 360. So when he snaps it down, when he goes 1, 2, 3 and he's exploding out of this break, he's not able to make that turn quick enough because he's already been turned. He's already been attacked in his blind spot. He's having to react to this. He thinks it's going to be a lot deeper of a route, but because he snaps it down, he's aggressive with his hips and gets in and out, he's able to make this catch. But setting up that blind spot, setting up that space for us to make some separation with our hand technique is what we're focusing on here, guys. Swats him by, snaps it down, comes back to the ball, works upfield. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So here we go. Swat him by, attack the blind spot, stop right on the dime, get him to stumble, catch this ball, get upfield. Okay, so now we're going to be watching Adam Thielen in the red zone. Our hands in the red zone are so important, guys. So we're going to look here. He's the inside receiver. Swat him by, get those hands off, catch, touchdown. Let's break this thing down. Let's see why this thing worked. So he comes up. He's real patient off the line here. 1, 2, sudden. Now, he knows he gets this DB working inside. He gets his leverage inside because this is such a great move with this right leg. It's such a good in, back out move that he knows all he has to do is beat this right-handed, this DB here. This left hand plays no factor because he already got him with his feet. If you could get him moving with his feet, get him biting towards the inside with his feet, all we got to do is take care of that opposite arm and we're going to get some separation. So now what he does a good job of is, see, he's attacking his elbow right here. It's kind of tough to see because Thielen's hands are so fast, but he's attacking this elbow, swats him off, and he's able to rip. But what I want you to see here is he's not worried about exposing this rib cage because this opposite hand has no factor, okay? That's a little high if he's going to get popped in the wrist or ribs if this guy's going to try to recover with his left hand, but he swims over the top. He still chops it down, as you can see. He swats him by, but he attacks that elbow, swats him by, snaps that head around. That is all the separation you need in the red zone, guys, for him to catch this ball and score. Let's watch this thing full speed again. So coming off the line here, 1, 2, swat, chop, upfield, catch this ball for a touchdown. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Please leave in the comments any questions you guys have, and please subscribe to this channel. That would really mean a lot to me. I'll see you guys next time.